One thing that I want to kind of talk about was what your message was to all the people here today. One thing that I love was how there were so many kids in the front row.
Yes.
What do you think that was?
Oh my gosh. I love seeing kids when they come to these things and they're listening to me talk, because I hope something resonates with them from my story. One of the biggest things I always try to stress to them is that my osteogenesis imperfecta is something that happened for me, not something that happened to me. And I think that there's a lot of lessons in life. My brittle bone disease is what I go through, but their adversities are going to look very differently, but it's all about your perspective. If they take anything away today, I hope it's to have a positive outlook and a good perspective, even when adversity strikes.
Growing up as a kid, when you were dealing with this, did you ever imagine that this is what you were going to look like?
No. Growing up, I got in the water for aquatherapy, and it was really for my health at first. And then I joined the swim team because I wanted to beat the other kids, and I didn't want my brothers to do it without me. Never in a million years could I have dreamed that I would be standing here today with gold medals around my neck and having traveled the world representing the country that I love. So it's almost like it was a happy accident, but everything kind of just fell into place along the way.
You talked about a couple of great Olympic moments along the way. But what was your kind of, oh my gosh, I've made it moment?
It was definitely in Rio in 2016 when I won my first gold medal. And especially in the 50 freestyle was never an event that I saw myself winning a gold medal in. And when I hit the wall and I turned around to look at the board, I had to look like 3 or 4 times because I was in just absolute disbelief that it just happened. And that was kind of the moment that I worked my entire life for, and I had made it through everything that I had been through. It was just the most incredible moment in my career.
Okay, swimmer to swimmer question. We're crazy because we swim for hours on end.
Yeah.
And is there anything like a routine that you have as you're going through practice,
Yeah. So something I learned a long time ago, probably like my freshman year of college, it was to take the set one bit at a time, because staring at a black line for 2 hours while you're kind of dying on the inside can be very taxing. So I've learned not to mentally let myself get ahead and overwhelm myself with the workload. So I like to take practice in different bits. I'll take the warm-up and then divide the main set into a few different parts and go from there. But it's mentally being tough enough to kind of compartmentalize everything and get through it.
One thing that I got from your story is kind of persevering over and over again.
Yes.
How did you portray that story to everyone today?
Yeah, so a big part of my journey has been persevering. I've broken probably over 100 bones in my lifetime, and one of my goals in my life was to never let a fracture overcome me or stop me from living. And so when I'm talking to kids in different groups, I talk to them about the fractures that I've had. I talk to them about the fact that I went in and broke my back on a flip turn, but I showed up 2 days later and kept going, because it's just an example of what you can do when it's mind over matter, and the triumph of the human spirit is incredible. So I hope they were able to take that from today.
And you're preparing for the games this summer as well?
Yes, I am. I am preparing for the 2024 Paris Games. We have trials coming up in June, so I will know in June if I'm going, but that'll be my 4th Paralympic Games.
Anything else you'd like to say? Anything you don't feel that I brought up?
I would say one other thing that I always try to stress to people when I am speaking is the amount of people who told me that I would never amount to anything or that I'm crazy to try. I would not know where I would be today if I had listened to them. So don't ever let someone dictate what you're capable of.